Can Tony Abbott go and buy a farm in China?
Well...
The answer's no, Prime Minister. The answer is no, he can't.
After a busy weekend hosting the world leaders at the G20 summit in Brisbane, Tony Abbott was confronted by radio host Alan Jones on the topic of a free trade agreement with China.
Now, we're told, so I'm told, there'll be billions of dollars in new markets for Australian exporters, that the dairy farmers will have tariff-free access, and the horticulturist and the wine. But hang on, the dairy farms, China are giving us nothing.
Jones argued that Australian producers would be unlikely to benefit from the free trade agreement, and there was a danger that before long the farming industry would be sold off to Chinese-owned companies.
No one can buy land unless the person who currently owns the land wants to sell, and presumably you only want to sell to an overseas buyer because the overseas buyer is offering you a better price than any Australian. That's the first point.
Well, of course. But hang on. Yeah, that's true. But can Tony Abbott go and buy a farm in China?
Well...
The answer's no, Prime Minister. The answer is no, he can't. Nor can he buy a coal mine, nor can he buy a steel mill.
Jones told the PM he thought the voters had the right to see the free trade agreement before it was signed.
The people who vote are the masters, aren't they? They have given you whatever authority you've got. They don't agree with this.
Tony Abbott insisted the agreement would have to pass normal legislative processing before coming into force, but maintained there were definite benefits for the country.
I promise you this, Alan. This is better for Australian agriculture. It's at least as good for our agriculture as New Zealand got about 6 or 7 years ago.
Well,
and their dairy exports to China have gone up from under $500 million to over $3 billion.